Well, Cabinet has reiterated President Cyril Ramaphosa's sentiment that they acknowledge the public outrage related to the ministerial handbook amendments made recently, which would have allowed for the payment of water and electricity bills for ministers and their deputies at official residences. We know that's now been put on ice following that public outrage, pending a review. Let's get a live update now from our reporter Tumaole Mohlaoli, who was at a briefing led by Minister in the Presidency, Tumaole. Tell us what more now Cabinet is saying about moving forward on this issue, and why, if they're so in tune with the people, they were able to still misread the situation as the President seems to have done.
Well, Cabinet is saying that in terms of the way forward, that the public can expect a review of this particular handbook, particularly when one looks at the outcry in terms of the complaints about the fact that, of course, as the nation, for instance, was under the constraints of load shedding, cabinet ministers were enjoying unrestricted or undisrupted electrical supply. This also goes in terms of the water situation, just basically painting a picture of a cabinet that is perhaps out of touch with the reality, and in terms of some of the perks that are guaranteed under this particular handbook. And so the outcry that has been coming through from the public is something that is been noted by Cabinet, and so the Cabinet will then look at reviewing this particular notebook to ensure that it is in line and in touch with the reality as experienced by those who have elected the members of Cabinet to come and serve the interests of the nation. So it was a very brief kind of a response in terms of that particular question, just to note that it has been noted, and that review will then be done in due course. Just exactly when in due course will be announced as the days go by, because this is a process that is still underway.
What about the other issues then, among them to do with the water supply problems as well as the ongoing energy crisis?
Yes, indeed. When it comes to the issue of the ongoing energy crisis, this is something that Cabinet has been discussing. And in terms of what has been coming out, it's one of those things that, Cabinet has noted that Eskom recently signed a 30-year lease agreement with 4 independent power producer investors. And when one looks at this, this is something of an investment that should be around the tune of about 40 billion rand. So certainly some very good news there when one looks at those independent power investors. So this is something that would be some good news for the ailing utility and for South Africans who really have been suffering in terms of Eskom's inability to guarantee unrestricted in terms of or undisrupted power supply.
Tumaole Mohlaoli, thank you very much for that update on the Cabinet briefing from earlier.